This woman, facing charges of ending a life, denies every accusation with an eerie smile plastered on her face. Can you fathom the chilling audacity? Join us as we delve into the spine-chilling details of a trial that will leave you questioning the boundaries of sanity. In 2013, 31-year-old Kania Gamet and 38-year-old Marcel Hill lived together in Jackson, Michigan. They made an odd pair because their personalities were so different from each other. Marcel was said to be friendly and act like a child. He only went to high school and worked at a fast food place. He had some problems, like a mental illness, a problem with his thinking, and a physical problem. Kania, on the other hand, didn't have any problems, but people knew she was on drugs and that she was angry and mean. She had a hard life and moved 13 times while she was young. She had also been arrested for beating a former boyfriend, which was considered domestic abuse, so it was interesting that she ended up with Marcel, whose personality was much better than Kania's. Kania and Marcel had a hard time getting along because they were so different from each other. Kania often went after Marcel. In one case, she used a knife to stab him and then patched up the cut herself. Marcel never told anyone about what happened. In another situation, Kania beat Marcel up and poked a hole in his lung. Again, Marcel never told the police about her. In a third event, Kania hit Marcel on the head with a club once more. The police charged her with attack and domestic violence, but Marcel didn't want to push charges, so the case was dropped. This would lead to very bad things for Marcel. In a fit of anger, on May 18, 2013, Kania killed Marcel. A neighbor called 911 when they heard Kania and Marcel arguing at their house. When the cops got there, they found the house in a mess. The furniture was broken, and there was a bloody knife, a broken floor lamp, and a bloody frying pan. Kania was also covered in Marcel's blood and had trouble speaking when the police found her. Marcel, on the other hand, had been beaten and stabbed to death. He had been stabbed 11 times, and a knife was used to cut his chest open. Kania had no injuries. Kania was caught right away at the scene of the crime and charged with open murder soon after. This meant that the judge or jury would have to decide how bad the murder charge was. Kania said that she killed Marcel in self-defense because she thought he was an invader or an attacker. She said that she had been sleeping but woke up when she heard glass breaking. She couldn't see because it was completely dark in the house, so she got a floor lamp and started swinging it at the intruder. She was able to find a knife in the dark and use it to hit the intruder until he fell down. After she turned on the lights, she realized she had killed Marcel. After that, she called 911. Kamia's story of how she acted in self-defense was easy for the lawyer to pick apart. First of all, Kania would have been able to recognize Marcel because he would have called out her name and begged for help as he was being stabbed 11 times. Kania instead told him that she didn't know his sound. Second, Marcel had 11 stab wounds, but Kania said she only hit him 3 times. In the attack, a bloody cooking pan was also used, but Kania didn't say anything about it. Kania then said that Marcel was to blame, saying that he was addicted to drugs and would act mean when he was drunk. Prosecutors didn't believe her because Kania was the one who had been arrested several times before the murder for domestic violence.
Before I impose sentence, is there anything you want to tell the victim's family who are here today?
I just want to say that I stick by the truth, which is that I did react in self-defense. I did love Marcel, and basically at trial, the way I was portrayed, mostly everything was lies. There was a little bit of truth, but mostly I was convicted off of lies, and I do plan to appeal it, and that's all I have to say.
Judge John McBain did not agree.
I have to say.
Okay. Got it? Anything you want to tell the court about the 12 stab wounds that you did in self-defense?
The alleged 12 stab wounds?
Well, I don't think the pathologist lied about those.
No, I don't have anything further to say.
Kania didn't act like she was sorry about killing Marcel in court. Kania rolled her eyes and laughed as Marcel's family read a letter to her in court.
You did leave a big hole in our hearts and a void that will never be filled. You took the life of our sister's only child. You took a bloodline out of our family. And we hope that each and every day that you remember the cries of help that he screamed as you plunged that knife in and out of his body. So we, the family of Marcel, would like to thank God for the special gift that you will receive today from the judge.
Just talk again, I'll have my court officer put a piece of duct tape in your mouth. You understand it? Try it one more time and see what happens to your mouth.
Kania was eventually found guilty of first-degree murder by a jury, and she was given a term of life in jail without the chance of release. The judge who heard Kenya's case said that it was one of the most brutal killings he had ever seen.
And you end up probably in some kind of domestic, ultimately hit him in the head so hard with a pan that you actually cave in the front of his skull, and then you stabbed him no less than 12 times. You know what? I was the only one in the courtroom that knew what kind of knife that was. And it was a big old long fillet knife. Because I used it to fillet pike and muskie and salmon. And I'll tell you, you gutted him like a fish in that apartment too. You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead. You didn't think he was an intruder. You know, maybe one stab wound, okay. Maybe that's 7 defense. But you put in 11 more to make sure he was good and dead. So I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well. You know, and if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair. You got 42 days to appeal my sentence. Think I've legally erred.